Hey everyone, welcome to this video. I'm going to talk to you today about a mistake that I saw this week where it literally cost someone a $30,000 deal, about a $9,000 commission, and I want to talk to you about a mistake to avoid in this business. Do me a favor, before I get there, if you've not subscribed to my channel, click the link below, click the notification link, subscribe. I give out freebies. I'd love for you to be one of my lucky winners. This could be a coaching session, it could be a thumb drive, it might be a surplus funds t-shirt, it could be a number of things. All right, so this week, and I'm hoping this warrior doesn't watch this, in our training videos, one of the biggest things that I emphasize is to start off small. And I'm not saying this guy did anything wrong. He did absolutely nothing wrong, but this is a mistake that you've got to avoid and you've got to learn the business. I always say start off small and work your way up the ladder. Whenever you start a business or a corporation, no one goes into an entry-level position straight to a top manager. You may work your way up there, you may impress people, you may work your way up the ladder, especially when your boss sees how valuable you are. There's a lot of things that may happen, but no one goes into a bank and starts off as a president, or goes to a company and starts off as a CEO or the head accountant or what have you. Even if you have a 4-year degree, you usually start off in an entry-level position. Here's how we want to train you, and then you work your way up. If you don't find out the company is sold and you find yourself out of a job, which is a good reason why you should be in this business, because when you're self-employed, you really don't have to worry about your business or your company being sold unless you're the one that sells it, which then you're in a good position. So let's get into what happened here and how to avoid it. Before I say that, I want to talk about just local laws and like you look in California. A lot of times when you get on the freeway, it's anywhere from 55 to 65. If you go far out and you're on a highway, it might be 70, 75 in places. You go to a place like Texas and you're driving through there and you might see 75, 80 more often. You've got the same government, but you have a lot of different local rules. When you're dealing with tax overages and mortgage overages and even state funds or what have you, every state, every county, although they're under one state, one umbrella, they all operate differently. I've had counties that have not required me to send in an ID. I've had other counties that have kicked back my paperwork because I don't have an ID. When you have it notarized, that's someone validating that your ID is there. Maybe someone was asleep, maybe someone was at lunch, maybe someone was a little just that A++ personality. In fact, I just recently had a deal in Florida. I did a video on this where I had a county that I had sent the paperwork into and they kicked it back to me and said it was unacceptable. Why is it unacceptable? And I had a hard time. Ladies like, well, not all the signatures are there. And I said, ma'am, I have it notarized. I've got my signature in there. Yeah, but you have rooms for other signatures. I'm like, okay, seriously? And I'm looking on this paper and I said, the two witnesses, I go, but I did notary. And she said, well, you still need to have those other two. And it said, or, and then it said like greater than must be notarized, something like that. It was literally ridiculous. I'm like, seriously? You kicked this to a lawyer and they kicked this back saying this? You think a lawyer would be able to read that? I'm not a lawyer. I never professed to be. By the way, anything you hear on these videos, there's what we've experienced that has worked for us. It's not law biting. But anyway, let's go back into the story. So I go and I have these two forms. I get a witness. I have my wife. I re-sign them. I have her be a witness. I go to Spencer Van. I said, hey, I'm going to sign this. Can you please be a witness that I signed this? She's like, oh yeah. So we got the signatures in there, got it kicked off. About a week goes by and I call the county to verify that they got my paperwork. The lady said, yeah, it's been received. Okay, great. Do you know how long this will take? We don't give out that kind of information. I said, okay, can you tell me if everything's done properly? Our attorney's reviewing it. They'll let you know. Okay, can you tell me how long that'll take? Nope. We don't give out that kind of information. I mean, literally, it's like talking to like a robot that was all programmed to say 2 or 3 different words. And I mean, the frustration level that I had went from like a 1 to like a 10. I mean, literally, they would give me no information and I'd call and I'd say, hey, I'm just verifying this. Our attorneys are looking at it. That's all I get. And about 3 weeks later, I got a check for $13,000 in the mail, which was fairly nice. But at the same time, I was going to send everyone in the court chocolates and give them like a, hey, here's a thank you from me. Hope this worked out well. So let's get into what happened. And I've seen this happen time and time again. When you start off in Warrior, start off with a $400, $500, $600 commission. Like I used to work this business and I used to target the $800 commissions because they're the least competition. I would get paid out 4 or 5 times a month is a good target to have. You get anywhere from $32,000 to $4,000 a month. Now let's scratch that for a second. I've done videos on this. What if like this week alone, I sent out commissions yesterday, and it was for it was on my cold calling that I had done. It was a $22,000. It would have been a $2,200 payout. It was a state fund. There's a caveat with that. It turns out that there's a couple owners on this, and I'm going to be getting probably a third of my commission. So instead of $2,200, and my baseline of what I like to get paid is usually about $2,400. It looks like it's going to be like right around $800-900, something around there. And the question is do I still go for that? Do I still do all the paperwork? Heck yeah, I made the phone call, I notified the person. He's very eager to work with me. He's already notarized something to send back to me. He told me he was on vacation. He's just getting back in town. He's very eager to go and move forward with this. Why would I not get him his $800? And $800 is $800. So it adds on to whatever else I'm making. I'm getting another contract out today. That's going to be something. But you start off small and you work your way up the ladder so that you're getting used to it. And then you're working $1,500. You get $1,500 a month, like I was saying. If you did one contract at $1,500 a month, that'd be $18,000 a year, $20,000 a year. That'd be a pretty nice, attractive addition bonus, and it really would not be that much work. You could probably do that. I'm going to be very conservative here. 4 hours a month. I would say probably more like 2, but literally you could do that within 4 hours a month. You could be making 20 to I'm sorry, what did I say? It would be 1,500, so that'd be, yeah, it'd be 18,000. You'd be making them 18,000 a year with that. So this warrior gets his deal, and it's a $30,000 deal. Just below it was 29,400 something. So let's round off. Let's say that he's going to be 30,000. So he had 9,000. Guy signed off on it. Did a contingency agreement with him. It was a tax overage, and he deals with a very difficult county. And they kicked everything back to him, and there was one extra form they required. It was a notice of surplus, and I hope this guy's not watching this, but we found that, we got that, we included it in the paperwork, had everything else that they needed, and they kicked it back and they highlighted one section. And so he had $9,000 something $100. I think I lost it more than he did on the phone. I think he was grateful that I was able to tell him. So we're looking at this, and there was a little highlight mark from the county, and ironically they were nice enough to highlight this. So the notary stamps this, gives their signature, the stamp of approval, everything on this. I've seen this done once or twice. The notary did not have the guy sign the contract. I kid you not. The guy's signature was missing from the signature line. Because of that, it cost this guy about, well, he's now having to go back to his client. He's now having to ask his client to re-sign. Nothing is worse when you have to go back, especially on a large deal. Now, if I was making $500 or $600 and something like that happened, then yeah, that would be one thing. But if I was making $8,000 or $9,000, I mean, you think about what you could do with $8,000 or $9,000, and it's huge. And it's just really sad that something like that would happen. And yeah, that had to happen. So what would be my remedy for this? Again, start off small. What if he was getting $2,000, $4,000 commission? That's still really high. What if it was his first deal and he was getting a $500 commission? What would you rather lose, 500, or would you rather lose, and I've done this, I've lost deals. Like I lost a $7,000 deal, possibly because I blew my phone script. And this is me with experience. People tell me I'm a master on the phone. Every once in a while I do my YouTube live calls on the phone, so that's another reason. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead. I don't keep it live. I take the link off after, but I kind of let my subscribers see what I'm doing, and I call people and I let them know they have funds, because people need example. You need mentorship, and I get it. But I called a guy, and he was a really hard to reach guy, and I'd been trying number after number, and I finally get a hold of this guy, and I didn't have the screen up, and I remembered his first name, and I said, hey, so-and-so, you have money, did you know that? You never say that in your script. Never ever say that. That is not my script. Totally blew it. As experienced as I am, the guy hung up on me. He had a right to hang up on me. I immediately called the guy back, and I just said, hey, sorry about that. If I can have a second, click. He hung up on me again. I immediately called him back. He said, don't call me again. I immediately called him again, and he didn't answer the phone. I left him a very detailed message. I said, Mr. So-and-so from this address, which he was at a whole new place now, I'm calling to let you know that you had an account that's gone dormant. I'm here to help you retrieve that. Please call me back. After hearing nothing from him, I texted him a couple times, and I tried to follow up with him. And sometimes you try from a different number, something like that. I mean, there's ways. But again, if you do something wrong, you don't know if you'd ever have the deal or not. I hate it when someone goes through all the work, they get all the paperwork back, they have everything ready to go. If he had known this and had done a couple small deals and had known what he was doing, what he could have done is he could have said, hey, wait a minute, this isn't signed. call this client immediately, because now it's weeks, months later, and they've just processed this, COVID's going on, and now he's having to go back to the client. Hey, remember me? Yeah, by the way, can you sign this? And he's tried his client twice, and his client hasn't picked up the phone. Doesn't mean he's not going to get the deal. I've even offered to get on the phone with him and his client, because it's like, oh man, I hate to see this. This guy's in scale, and I hate to see this. And again, I hope he's not watching this video. My goal is not to call anyone under the bus. I've done this. Anyone's done this. Start off small and work your way up. Hey, I hope this video was helpful. Do me a favor, give me a thumbs up if you got something out of this video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I give out freebies. Just click the link down below. Click the notification links, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you.